Got to. Hello, good evening, and welcome to episode 19 of the British Hive Mind. So this is going to be another sort of fly by the seat of the pants sort of episode where there's not much pre-planned, not much pre-planning being done, not much guest invitations being done. But hey, it's one of those. You can't expect success all the time. It is a little bit dark on this, so let's just bring this up as well. Let's just bring that up. There we are. A bit more light. We'll use the television as a way to light the screen a little bit more. And there we go. We can see me a little bit better, even though I am keeping my identity a little bit secret. Because, well, a lot of the topics that we talk about on this show are the taboo topics, the taboo subjects, the things that we're not supposed to talk about, the things that offend people. You can't offend people nowadays, can we? So, yeah. So I've got to keep my identity a little bit secret, especially with where I'm living and, yeah, the hostilities that are faced towards anybody that speaks the truth. So, where to go with this show? We're not too sure. Not too sure if we're going to get any guests involved. The server's there. The server's open. I've asked anybody who watches the show to, send me a private message, get in touch via the comments, get in touch any way you can. And, yeah, have a chat with me, see what your expertise are, see where your field is, and see whether we can get you on the show. Come on board. Yeah. I've just been on the Daily Chaos with Ollie Connolly, and he does a great show, but he has a very open platform and quite a lot of people on there at the same time. And we do suffer with talking over each other and not being able to get our points across fully and going off on little different tangents here, there, and everywhere. But I do that myself anyway. But yeah, so that is a bit more chaotic than this show. I do want it to be a bit more to the point, to the topic, keep it on going, and just not a broad conversation and not a narrow-minded conversation, but a more specific, targeted sort of conversation where, we're not addressing the news of the day, what the Telegraph says today and what the Guardian says today. It's all a lot of utter codswallop that is there to sort of, I was discussing this with Alice last night, that a lot of the stories are being targeted. A lot of the information we're being fed is targeted. All of this anti-Islam rhetoric that's now starting to come to the surface in the media, in the news, the grooming gang scandal, the voter fraud scandal, the anti-Semitism scandal, all of these things are bubbling to the surface now. And it's a way to start to point people's focus at the Islamic problem. People are very aware that Islam has massive problems. So what the government and the establishment are trying to do is point the finger at them, point the finger at the immigrants, point the finger at the Muslims, point a finger at them, so we fight amongst each other at the lower levels rather than turning our attention upwards at the people that have actually put this social incoherence into place. They've actually, been out there and targeted Pakistan, Bangladesh, Northern India, a lot of these places in the Middle East that are havens of Islam, havens of this ideology and this doctrine that says it's okay to rape children, that says it's okay to kill infidels. It's not okay to insult Islam in any way. So that's to criticize it. That's to say that the Quran might be wrong. The Quran might not have been written by God. Blasphemer! Stone them. Kill them. And that's the cultures and that's the ideologies of these people that they are bringing in on purpose. You see the sort of plan of it. The actual targeted plan of it was to bring these people over that will not integrate into our culture, that will not that will not play ball, that will not live by our rules and our laws, and want to impose their own. And you can see they knew exactly what they were doing with this, and they knew exactly how it would affect our community. And they knew exactly that it would start to incite civil war, which is it's coming to fruition now. It's what they want. They either want us to submit to the will of Allah and become Muslims or Demis. Because look at Saudi Arabia and Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. How brainwashed and indoctrinated are their slaves? Is their slave class? They will do anything that the imam or the or the religious leaders tell them to do, because that is their religion, that is their cult, that is what they are pre-programmed from birth to do. And they see that that is a very effective way of controlling the public. Back to the Dark Ages, where everything was based around religion and heresy and blasphemers and like that. So you can't say this, you can't think that, you can't do this, you can't do that, because it will upset the establishment. And the establishment in those countries is Islam, political Islam. Now, when you bring those people over to here, they want... It's madness, utter madness. No, this place should have been a safe haven for apostates. This place should have been where anyone who wants to turn away from Islam can come freely and be and live a free, well, a sort of non-Islam life. Because yes, we do have our own traditions, our own culture, our own laws, rules, regulations, our own cultural rules that aren't sort of the enforced rules of the state, the sort of the frowning of society upon you. If you do that, or if you're, you know, an alcoholic at the pub all the time, sat in the corner, society frowns upon you. That's the sort of cultural sort of policing we have, and now it's shifted to sort of their cultural policing. You know, they have their culture police roaming the streets, seeing if women are wearing burqas. Happens in my town. I walk up 100, 150, 200 meters down the street, and I will see people culturally enforcing Sharia law. Or Sharia. It's not because Sharia means law, but yeah. It's a tricky one, because they want us to they brought in this problem knowing it's a problem, knowing what it's going to do to our society, knowing exactly what it is. For crying out loud, all you need to do is read the Quran and the Hadiths, and then you'll start to see the exact plan of Islam, how it comes in, how it subverts, how it tries to get in places of power, how it tries to influence and infiltrate, and then they get a majority and they all spread like wildfire. It's happened in many countries. Egypt being one of them. Where's the Christians in Egypt? Where are the Jews in Egypt? What's happened to them? The Jews in Morocco. Don't hear of them anymore. You start to see that this happening in France and Germany now. The Jews are starting to think there's too many Muslims here. And once Muslims get in, once Islam starts to thrive, guess who's the first to be persecuted? The Jew. You know, I'm not trying to say the Jews don't deserve some sort of persecution for what they've done and the way that they are the fake Jews and the Khazarians are running, ruling, and ruining governments through their deep state mechanisms. But you start to see the everyday innocent Jew being targeted, which, yeah, is all part and parcel of Islam. All part and parcel of Islam. You know, they are taught to hate the Jews and the Kuffars from knee high in their indoctrination centres, where we've seen proof that they beat them with sticks, force them to memorize the Quran, force them to do things. And they'll have preachers there saying, oh, the Kuffars are the worst things ever in the world. Apart from Jews, only Jews are worse than Kuffars. We've seen this in documentaries. And yet, they allowed it to come here. Why? To divide us, to break up the British community, to put in place broken Britain, to put in place massive job cuts, to put in place this two-tier society and this two-tier legal system that is blatantly sided towards the ethnic minorities. And it's there to breed this animosity, breed this hatred of the other working class and the other working classes and the other people that are struggling and suffering. So we fight amongst each other, diverting our attention away from the people that are putting this in place, whilst they sit in their ivory towers, drinking champagne and smoking cigars, laughing at us. You know, they try to blame the immigrants for the NHS crisis. Nope. They're a part of it. I won't wipe their hands of any sort of blame in the matter. But the blame in the matter is it's poor management. The blame in the matter is it's targeted destruction. That's the freaking key behind the collapse of the NHS. The elites, the deep state, want to get rid of it. Even though it is a massive mechanism in the socialist agenda, in the socialist sort of world. A free national health service is one of the key cornerstones of socialist government. If you control the healthcare system, you literally control who lives and dies. How it went out to little baby Alfie. Because you can see the state is controlling who lives and who dies through their national health service. How long will it be before you get a national health point system where if you smoke, you get points deducted? If you eat fatty foods, if you eat bacon, you get points deducted. It's coming. It's the next logical progression before full privatization and full insurance companies, because that's the lovely sort of fascist side to the socialism side. That's the corporations and the corporate government entities are now looking to make lots and lots of money off the British population through insurance policies. Because the insurance policies aren't going to be cheap. And yeah, it will only be another feather in the nest of the corporatocracy. It will be another feather in their nest to say, oh, more money for us, more money for us. But that's a prediction of the future. We don't know. Nothing's set in stone yet. And hopefully we'll be able to change this. Hopefully we'll be able to make enough changes to our government, to our political system, to our social system, to make sure that we can keep some form of NHS, some form of national health service, because it is something that the British founded. It is something that was worthy of international applause. It truly was. I'd say back in the 50s, 60s, even possibly some of the 70s, it was the forefront of health service in the world, and it was nationalized, and it was ours. And now we've opened up the floodgates, so it's now the international health service. So, you know, if you come from any other country, Romania, India, Pakistan, wherever you want to come from, come into this country, get a free national health service, and off you pop. If you don't do it through the NHS, you'll just do a runner from the bills you get sent. Boom, we can't find you. You're gone. Just another number, just another debt. And yeah, there's been a lot of highlighting of the NHS problems. Nobody's offered any solutions. Nobody offers any solutions any of the time. None of them. All they do is push problems in your face. Something's wrong. It's wrong. The government needs to sort it out. The government needs more power to sort it out. Problem, reaction, solution. Every single time. Oh, the NHS is crumbling. Oh, it's a problem. Oh, it needs more funding. Oh, we need to raise taxes. Oh, the NHS is struggling. Oh, the NHS has problems. Oh, people aren't getting the necessary healthcare and people are dying on the NHS. What can we do? Well, if we get private companies involved, then that might save the NHS. Really? Problem, reaction, solution. And it's starting to point me towards the government wanting civil unrest, the government wanting riots in the street. I know it sounds a bit unplausible, a bit mad, and a bit of exactly what the exact opposite of what government should be after. But when you see the government-controlled newspapers and the government-controlled media putting out these stories that are blatantly inflammatory, blatantly there to annoy people, blatantly there to turn people against each other, it seems like a targeted ploy. It seems like it is a targeted policy to start releasing more and more disgusting, damning, horrifying news stories to piss us off. Sorry for the language, but it is. It's there to annoy us. It's there to make us want to rebel, to make us want to revolt, to make us want to fight amongst each other. So what? They can come in with full martial law, crush us all, blame it on the far right. Oh, it's the far right. They're the ones that did this. They're the evil enemy. We've got to arrest and lock all them up. Well, we can see the definite targeting of the far right and the definite broad brush labelling of anybody and anything that is far right. You know, do you oppose immigration? Well, then you're far right. Do you oppose the European Union? Well, you're far right. Oh, do you oppose grooming gangs and terrorism? Then you're far right. And the far right is the problem. So you can see them starting to put the bricks in place to see. And yeah, with the false flags and the Darren Osborne case, you know, things like this, you can see them targeting, focusing and pointing the finger at the far right, trying to dehumanize us, try to blame us for their mistakes, to blame us and our reaction to the problem as being the problem, as being what has to be stopped, is being what has to be crushed. Can you see it leading to this? Because I can see it leading to this. I can see that there being an incident, it being blamed on far right, and a governmental sort of lockdown on anybody that's far right. So, yeah, they'll be able to pass legislation that, well, we see all the legislation that's been chuffing past. It's against extremism. Define extremism. Is it extreme of me to want to close the borders completely? Is that extreme? Is it extreme of me to want to petition the Queen to dissolve Parliament? Is that extreme? Is it extreme of me to question Islam through a loudspeaker in the middle of the street? Is that extreme of me? Who holds it? Who holds the definition of extremism? Because a Muslim hate preacher in a mosque, that's extreme, is it not? That's inciting violence, is it not? If somebody was to read the Quran out loud, they would be inciting violence and hatred. Isn't that not extreme? Is that not an offence in these hate speech times? Yes, we are on Discord. Yes, but I do have a private server where I do like to sort of pre-warn to the guests. So I know where you're coming from. I know what you sort of way to swing and what sort of expertise you bring to the table as well. So then I can have a directed question upon you where I know you're going to have the answer and you're not going to be umming and ahhing and yeah. Well, you can have the wrong answer. That's fine. That's fine. You can even say that Islam's a religion of peace if you want. But you will get a reaction to it. Yeah, so Lauren, if you get in touch via private messaging on Facebook. Well, no, I can't use that anymore because I'm banned off Facebook. So yeah. I'll get in touch somehow. Somehow, some way. You send me a friend request on Discord if you got it. Hopefully we can do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's for another time offline. Well, we'll carry on with the show now. Where were we? Perhaps we are the real infidel. Perhaps. Well, in their accounts, yes, I am an infidel. Or perhaps they are the infidels. Perhaps they are the non-believers. Perhaps they're putting all of their love and faith and their praise and idealization into a false idol. Blasphemer! But yeah, anyways, back onto I've even lost the topic now as well. But back onto it. Yeah. I've lost my train of thought now. Oh, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing. I keep getting this buzzing inside my ear as well. It's not a good thing. I think it's all the Wi-Fi in around. Can't wait for 5G. Yay. Yeah. So, well, the return of the Antichrist is what the Luciferians want. The one true leader of the world. The What's next? What is next? What is next for us all? Because when I close my eyes over on my crystal ball and have a look into the future, there's the inevitable things, the inevitable financial crash. It's inevitable. It's just looking for the person to blame it on. They're probably going to look at Brexit for the collapse of the euro and the European banks. Probably they're going to blame it on Brexit and blame the British. It's a possibility, and that will crash all the international markets as well. So, yeah, it's occasionally it's like, and now it's gone. But I don't doubt the fact that, well, when I'm watching, something like InfoWars, when I'm watching live broadcasts, when I'm watching the Daily Chaos, the Daily Brexit on my phone's battery seems to die rather quickly. Like it's pre-programmed to use more power when I'm watching conservative views, when I'm watching alternative news, like it's programmed to use more power to do it. I don't doubt the fact that they will probably be able to turn up the radiation it pumps out when you're on Facebook watching a Facebook Live that you're not supposed to be watching. When you're watching alternative news, it's probably going to pump out more microwave radiation. And I don't now, knowing the tentacles of the deep state, knowing the fact that they are the tech companies, not just the software tech companies, but the hardware tech companies as well. So it's it's proven fact now that they can use radio frequency, microwave radiation to implant thoughts into the human brain. It's a proven fact. They can do it with 9 out of 10 sort of certainty. You can start to implant the thought into the mind. It's for the person and mind themselves to interpret that thought, but they're implanting it. Yeah, it was part of the continuation of the MK Ultra program. Part of the continuation of when they took the Nazi scientists that did a lot of human research, a lot of psychological research. They took all of them over in Operation Paperclip, and the CIA was born. And yeah, they did some serious experiments on a lot of people to work minds, to push mind control, to push thought control, to push all of these underhand people control techniques. Because once the people start to become aware, start to wake up, they'll start to revolt. They'll start to act uncivilly. They'll start to want to escape from the matrix, getting rid of the birth certificates, getting rid of this this name, this piece of paper that binds you to the government and the government's control. We'll start to want to get away from that. And without being able to control us through the culture, through the telebox, through religion, through things like this, they're losing their forms of control. So now they've really started to ramp up targeted, full-on targeted mental mind control, whether it be through the simplest subliminal things as of a flashing image, or through the cultural way of, like I said, the sort of culture police that, oh, that opinion's frowned upon. Oh, you can't say that. Oh, I'm offended. It's thought control. It's part of the deep state thought control mechanism. Political correctness is a form of mind control. if you have to second guess what you're going to say and you can't speak naturally, well, crying out, look at Diane Abbott. How can she can't even speak naturally. She has to question every word she says. She has to go, well, I can't say that, and I can't speak from the heart. So, I can't give an answer. We're still working on the answer. Yeah. And they're getting normal people, everyday people on the street have to think like this as well. To have to sort of compartmentalize their thought. So once you're talking to people, la 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 la, or I'm going to tell a bit of a racist joke or a bit of a saucy joke. Oh, I've got to look over my shoulder. Look over my shoulder, make sure there's no black people about, because they might take offence. Or look over my shoulder, there's no women about. I can tell this mucky joke now. Sake of jokes, joke. Guess what? Most jokes offend people. That's the point of a joke. If someone's not offended by a joke, they're not really that funny. But yeah, let's have a little look at the comments. Oh, yep. Like I mentioned on yesterday's show, lithium being pumped into our atmosphere. It's a form of mind control. All the metal deposits. I'm not sure if they can be, but there's definitely amping up the power behind the 5G network and the hyper-array. But I'm not sure if they can be used for mind control. But they're the ones that have done the research. And like William said, they've been doing this research since the 60s. Intense research. Not just wishy-washy sort of cancer research. Yeah, we'll look at this. We'll have a look at that. We're not going to find the cure. We're just going to spend a lot of money researching it. Whereas the mind control, the alternative thought patterns has been seriously funded, seriously pushed, seriously investigated and tried upon humans. Yeah. That's it. I'm waiting to start to hear the voice in the back of my head saying, "Consume, obey, do not rise up, conform, obey." That little voice in the back of your head that the government's put in there. Yeah, but like I said, all of this hate speech laws, policing your thoughts, policing your words, policing your vocabulary to force you to second guess, force you to question your words, force you to censor yourself, because self-censorship is the most effective censorship of all. If you have to think twice about saying something, you've already not said it. If you get what I'm saying, you can't say the P word, you can't say the N word. Why? Who says I can't? Who says I can't say packy? Who says I can't say nigger? If I use it in the right context. You know, am I offended if someone calls me a Brit? Am I offended if somebody calls me a cracker? I've never been called a cracker, but it wouldn't offend me. I don't get offended easily. I get angry. Angry a lot at betrayal. Because once you start to scratch beneath the surface, scratch beneath the veneer, you'll see betrayal here, there, and everywhere. Yeah. Telepathy. Now, with telepathy, I know for a fact that there's paralinguistics. There's body language. Is that not a form of telepathy? Is that not a form of mind reading? Because if I give you the right body language, but say the wrong thing, or say the complete opposite, which one are you going to trust more? My body language which is that if you don't understand body language, it's that instinct you have, that sort of intuition you have when you're talking to someone, and you look at them and you think, that person's lying. I know. Something. I've got the intuition that person's lying. They're doing this, or if they're doing this quite a lot, it means they're a bit uncomfortable. So yeah, that's a form of telepathy, but outright. I can read your thoughts is, I think, would only be properly achievable through genetic manipulation. And through genetic manipulation, which we know that they're doing, it might be possible to sort of enhance that gene or awaken a certain part of the mind or the brain. But let's go back to the comments. That's how it's done. In your first thoughts, they're usually right. Yep, you got instinct. You know, when you're looking at a quiz, when you're watching a TV quiz, and you know the answer to the question before the actual multiple choice questions come up. Boom. It's your instinct and you know it, and boom, you're there. And it's always the first answer. And it's the right answer. If you can answer the question before they ask the multiple choice questions, it's normally right. But we've lost you. Well, it still says I'm live. Give us a 1 if I'm still going. I know the viewers dropped to 0 a second ago, and I was like, everybody just left. Is it because I said the N word? For crying out loud. I was using it in the correct context. Yeah, possibly, but my internet runs at 50 meg. Should be all right. But we have these bandwidth issues. It's not bandwidth issues. Truly, it's not. It's them doing it on purpose. At 50 megabytes a second, that's easy enough data to stream something live like this. Yeah, but they put these broadcast interrupted, or poor bandwidth, or poor signal. You can't do it. That's in place, especially to block us. You'll see them do it at big rallies and big marches, or at false flag events. All the cameras on the phones will suddenly die, or all the phones will be turned off, or all the phones just stop working. All the signal stops because they control it. So, yeah. But with the question of telepathy and mind control, somebody personally mind controlling people, I've seen it. I know that it happens. It can happen. Somebody can be MK Ultra'd and has a minder. Someone who can follow them, walk with them, and do certain things to that person. Maybe a pinch on the arm. Boom, triggered. I'm triggered. I've got to do my thing like a little robot, and just simple pinch on the arm. Boom, done. That's how it works. That's how the mind control works. They will have agents and minders. So it will be somebody's job to keep that person in line, keep that person on track, keep that person doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing until the point comes when they get the trigger and they go and perform their program task. This is fact. Telepathy. There's been quite an argument that people have been able to see what's inside the envelope without looking inside the envelope. Is that a form of telepathy? If there was a picture of a cup inside this piece of paper, on the inside of this paper, a picture of a cup, and I was able to say, there's a picture of a cup on the inside of that paper, I'm not inside it, that's telepathy. Because the person across from you knows that there's a picture of a cup inside there. Hmm. Build an. Hmm. Well, I know they've got specialised police vans with sort of mobile phone jamming technology attached to the roof, where they can cut out a section or just totally block from the center point and block a certain radius, or they can set up triangulated or a squared grid pattern where they can knock out all the telecommunications in that certain area if they want to. I know that they can access your phone and turn off the camera themselves if they want. If you've gone onto freaking Facebook and Facebook Messenger and tried to make a video call to someone, or somebody's tried to video call you, and you've said, yes, you can have access to my camera, guess what? They can turn that camera off and on whenever they can want. I think everybody gets blocked off Facebook. I don't think anyone on my proper Facebook, on my Dave Wolf Facebook account, hasn't been blocked. I think it should be, it's a badge of honor, medal of honor. Have you been blocked by Facebook? Have you been banned by Facebook? Have you been to Facebook jail? Yes, I have. Oh, well, welcome on board. Welcome on board. You can come and join the team. But like they do every single app. Why does every single frigging ABC app? Because that's the parent company of Google, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, all ask for access to your camera. All of them ask for access to the camera and the mic. Give us access to the camera and the mic so we can listen to you and watch you. For crying out loud. That's why I want away from these companies. I really want away from them. But they're still the major platforms. So how can you broadcast to people without using the major platforms? All the sheeple and all the peoples that aren't awake and need to see stuff like this, they're not going to log on to an alternative platform. They're not going to be part of Gab, Minds, DTube, BitChute, things like this. They're not going to be a part of that community. It's only us, the awakened, that are part of that community because we've raised our head above the parapet. Our head's above the trenches and we're going, they're trying to silence us. Right, we'll use a different platform then. But that other platform then turns into a sort of echo chamber, doesn't it? So until we... It's like the freaking European Union. Frick's sake, we're never going to get out until we destroy it. Same with Facebook. We're never going to get people off Facebook until we destroy it. It is that simple. If people still have the Facebook option, they're still going to use the Facebook option. For crying out loud, if people learn from the very word go that Facebook was LifeLog, the CIA project LifeLog, and that's what Facebook is, they'd still be freaking using it. Even if they knew that it was there to gather data, there to monitor everybody, there to influence public opinion. They'd still use it. We're finding this out more and more now. With the joke mock trial of Zuckerberg, him having to get up in front of like the Senate or the courts or something, where he's not under oath. He doesn't have to tell the truth. He can blatantly sit there, sipping on his water like a little freaking munchkin, and lie, blatantly lie, and just say whatever I didn't understand any of it. I didn't put these algorithms in place. Oh, I didn't know. Bull. Even looks like a chuffing robot now. But yeah. Just want to get rid of them. There's a lot of stuff in this world I want to get rid of. But even if I got rid of 50% of it, the world would be a darn sight better place. Strange. My writing getting in. So, where's that? Don't get that. Anyways, so what else? What else is there? You know, there's the there's the echo chamber of social media where people can't say what they want. People can't say what I want. People can't. And if you do get this sort of black mark or red flag against your account, they'll start to shut down what you see in different news feeds that you get. And they'll start to just... it's ridiculous. And it's so obvious. And there's no video now. What's going on? What is going on? It shouldn't be my end, because this is a low freaking definition camera. You know, it's not exactly sending a huge frame rate over the internet. It's not exactly sending a huge freaking megabytes per second through Discord. I'm crying out loud. I don't even need to be on it. I don't even have any guests. Hey. But no, it shouldn't be my side. But if anybody's watched the previous episodes from the YouTube police, they're gonna see what I know, what I say. They're gonna see that I'm a truth teller trying to spread the truth, and they're gonna try and shut me down. And if I had a whole 100,000 subscribers and stuff like that, do you think I'd be getting any money from this place, from this platform? No, would I? Because they would have demonetized me instantly, because I'm a truth teller telling the truth. Though the ISIS bomb making videos, they still get monetized. Yeah, build an IED for ISIS, and we'll still monetize that. Hundreds of thousands of views. But you can also see the sort of the mind control is so blatant nowadays. Once you unplug yourself from the matrix, you start to see that people are plugged into it, that people's thoughts are being controlled, their opinions are being controlled. They get fed a false narrative and they don't question it. They're taught not to question things. They're taught to just believe the prescribed narrative no matter what. And it's got to a stage where the mind control is so strong that when you try to break the government grip on their people, that they violently react against it. Not just verbally, but violently. They'll try to attack you for saying it's the government's fault. The immigration is a government policy, and they've been following this policy for quite some years now, and it's their fault. They've just come here for a better life. Well, why didn't they make their own country better to make a better life for all of the fellow countrymen? Oh. Why have they come over here to cream off our goodness? Yeah. Right, audience, can you hear my voice? Can you hear my voice, people? They've gone. I've gone. As he can't edit spores. I think they might have pulled the plug on me. Oh no! I thought I might get to at least episode 20 before they pulled the plug on me. Oh, bagger. Bagger. Nah, they can't have done. Nah. Ah. Well, fuck 'em. There's many other platforms out there apart from shitey YouTube. See, this is exactly what I was going on about. Being a truth teller, telling the truth, coming out, hey, my opinion's my opinion. I can back my opinion up with freaking fact. If you'd like me to, ask me a question and I'll back it up with fact. Give you my answer, my opinion, and back it up with fact. That simple. I'm a libertarian. I'm someone who likes freedom, and I'm someone who likes debate. Open, free debate, where it can become quite a heated argument. And it's all fine, because guess what? You can agree to disagree upon things. It's that simple. If you can't beat somebody's argument or enlighten them on a new way of thinking about things, then you're not the best orator, or you're not the best debater, or they're so stuck in their ways, or they've got their side of the argument and their side of the argument weighs up to them. So guess what? You agree to disagree and move on. Move on to a different subject, move on to a different topic. See if there's other things in other places where you can agree. You know, if you put me in a room with someone who was pro-open borders, Christ, we'd have a heated debate. We'd be talking for a long time. We'll probably start raising our voices. But guess what? I wouldn't get violent. I wouldn't get offensive. I wouldn't get abusive. I won't get insulting. I might call him a bloody idiot. But ooh, what's that? But put me in a room with an Antifa smeg and let me debate them, and I'll tear their argument to pieces, time and time again, and they will probably get an Antifa. Yeah, one Antifa scraggle by himself ain't gonna do nothing. It's only when there's 10 of them. When it's 10-1, that's when that's when they show their strength. Really. Yeah. We're back. Way back in business. Still talking to myself, but it's all good. Right. So, I'm gonna have to watch this. I'm gonna have to watch this show back. I don't really like watching the show back. I am not the biggest fan of my own voice, or the biggest fan of You know, I don't want to be a chuffing celebrity. I just saw that nobody else was really doing this, or not many other people were really doing this, and getting out there and starting to tell the truths and start to, have my own little show like this. I don't want to be famous. Look, that's why I'm covering up my freaking identity. That's why I wear the same jumper, the same hoodie every time. So I never wear these clothes out of the house. No one's going to recognize me. Yeah, but I'm not an ego. I don't want to be no famous person. I just want to wake people up. I want the fucking world to change, and the sooner the better. I want people to wake up. I want people to start acting with me, start getting out there, start doing things, and start holding the government to account, roasting their toes over the fire, make them squeal, make them tell us the truth. I want a public court with polygraphs. So all of these are politicians, all of the royal family, every last one of them, going back to the freaking 70s, anybody who's held political office in this country, they're on a polygraph, getting tested for many, many questions that they will not answer. Yeah, that's it. You can't beat a polygraph. Well, you can if you're MI5, MI6 trained for a few years. I think you can beat a polygraph if you can. Well, I'm not going to tell you. Oh, fuck it, I'll tell you how to beat a polygraph. You've got to convince yourself that it's the truth. If you can convince yourself 100% free mind control that you are telling the truth when you're actually telling a lie, that's how you beat a polygraph. That's how you beat it. But didn't tell you that. Because the truth is a matter of perception. Think about that one. The truth can be seen as substantiated fact. However, the truth can also be fluid. The truth can change upon your own perception. It's a weird one, but let's not go into that one. But yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want, and I think that's what a lot. If I told the people that's what I want, I think the majority of people would agree with me. They should have a massive. I don't care how much it costs the taxpayer. I don't care. What are they doing inquiries into now, as we speak? That's costing us millions. Oh, we'll do an inquiry into green energy. Yeah, that's a good money spinner. Yeah, let's do an inquiry into. Well, let's not do an inquiry into grooming gangs. No, we can't do that because we'll get tired with that one, and they might find out a bit more than they should. Right, but a massive, full-blown interrogation, full-blown inquiry, polygraphs, the lot, televised, everything. No ifs, no buts, no coconuts. If you held and have held a position of power on that polygraph, answer these questions. That simple. That simple. Yeah, that's what they've been doing. A lot of these grooming gangs and grooming scandals were, yes, highly Muslim. However, the people that weren't caught, well, the people that were caught were Muslims. The people that weren't caught were politicians, were the councillors, were the people in the social services that were aiding and abetting this. That were the people, with such a disdain for human life. They were blaming the girls for being groomed and raped. But yeah, the grooming gang scandal is just another tear in the fabric of society. If your young girls are going out and feeling so worthless, have no self-confidence and no self-esteem, self-respect, self-control, that if somebody drives past in a car, says, here's a bottle of vodka, come and get in the car with us. Yeah. What's happening to our society when people are seeing these young girls as pieces of meat? Because that's what the Muslims look at them like. That's what seems to be social services has seen them like. Not like pieces of meat, but pieces of filth on the street that need to be the untouchables, the unwashed, the unclean. And it's, yeah, stems from Luciferianism. All of this, trace it back and back and back and back and back through the eons of history. It's Luciferianism. It is. It is. And now we're seeing it. Christ almighty, 10 years ago, I would not have even dreamt Luciferianism was a thing. I wouldn't have even thought Luciferianism was even still alive today. And then over the years, I've started to find out that it's the dominant religion in power. It is the dominating force on this planet, is Luciferianism. And it's yeah, it's part of the secrets in their secret societies. It's this culture of secrecy, this political culture of secrecy, where they slap D notices on the media, so you can't talk about the Scripples case, you can't talk about this, you can't badmouth the EU, you can't do this, you can't say that, you can't publish this, you have to publish the narrative. And this want for domination and control of the people stems from Luciferianism. This secretive culture stems from Luciferianism. This paedophilia stems from Luciferianism. Drinking their children's blood is Luciferianism. And light back on. And it's only just starting to come to light. And now once we see that it's starting to come to light, you see how in depth, entrenched and widespread it actually is. You see us normal people walking around on the street, happy-go-lucky, la, 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 when the people in office and the people in the ivory towers, well, they're more like freaking Sauron's tower with a big chuffing all-seeing eye over the top of it, rather than a nice ivory tower, but they're in there praising Lucifer, sacrificing children, laughing at us for our ignorance, laughing at us saying, ha, they don't know our secrets, ha, 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 we're the enlightened ones, because we have the knowledge that's been passed down to us from our satanic Luciferian freaking parents. Pisses me off. It does. And they've played the game so well. They've played it so fucking well. They've got us all divided. They've got us all separated. They've got us all in our own little cliques. They've got us all dumbed down. They've got us all ignorant. They've got us all watching the freaking telebox. They've got us all monitored through their freaking smartphones. They've got every chess piece in place, ready to go. Game over. You know, and there's a couple of those little pawns still about on the table going, no, you will not win. You will not defeat us. We are free. But we're getting silenced more and more and more. That's this leprosy of modernism. Yeah. And the consumer culture. It's part of Luciferianism. This selfish wanting me, I, gimme. It's Luciferianism. Selflessness is not a part of Luciferianism. So Luciferians in government is the worst thing ever because they're all selfish. They're all selfish. They don't care about the selfless needs and they don't care about the people. They don't care about the freaking people, and they're in government and they're ruling over us, and they're Satanists only hell-bent upon bettering themselves or bettering fellow Luciferians. They'd eat each other's brains if they could to get more powerful. And I know, Christ, if I was saying this 10 years ago, tinfoil hat, yeah, I might get some tinfoil hat for my cap. That'd be funny. But if I'd have said this to anyone 10, 15 years ago, if I'd have made like a MySpace video thing or something 5, 10 years ago, saying that Luciferians run this country, that Luciferians rule the world, and they're doing all this and they're sacrificing children and drinking their blood. Yeah, I'd be in a room with some nice squishy walls and a nice squishy floor and a nice squishy ceiling with a nice huggable jacket on, like this. But now, thank the freaking Lord, or the universe, or the force, or everybody that's awake, I thank them all. Because now I can say this. Now I can start freaking challenging authority. I can now start asking these questions, giving people the answers, and start really poking them, without being ridiculed so much. You know, there will be some frigging idiots out there that come on and comment and ridicule because they're unenlightened, they're uninformed, they're still glued to the television doing telly things. You know, well done to them. But now, with the people, with the groups, with the awakened, we're starting to break the curse of the conspiracy theorist. Because the curse of the conspiracy theorist was JFK. They invented the term conspiracy theorist all with regards to JFK because they did a really job of the JFK assassination, where they left far too many loose ends, far too many unanswered questions, and an impossibility where he was shot from the front, through the throat, from the overpass, instead of once through the back of the head. Once, twice. And we got it all on video. So they invented the term conspiracy theorist to debunk, to besmirch, to write off any criticism of the JFK assassination. Then the moon landings. Was it moon landings first, or was it JFK first? Did JFK actually get... it was JFK, then moon landings, because JFK promised to get us to the moon, but he didn't actually get us there because he assassinated him first. I think. Not 100% on US history. But, yeah. Then the moon landings conspiracy theorists. A lot of questions that could not be answered. So they just, conspiracy theorists. They're just conspiracy theorists. You know? And every conspiracy, pretty much every conspiracy I can think of, conspiracy theory I've thought of, we are right. The conspiracy theorist is right. What more else can you say? So, to be honest with you, I'd rather trust a conspiracy theorist than a BBC news presenter. Difficult times ahead, you know. But now the distrust has gotten to a point where even people like Tommy Robinson, even people like Alex Jones or Paul Joseph Watson or Pat Connell, we have to start questioning them, start thinking, are they a shill? Are they controlled opposition? The number one case in point is Nigel Farage. Cannot trust that guy. Cannot trust him. He says nice words and he says nah, but then he'll say let's abolish the House of Lords. What fucking affront to democracy that is. You know, I truly believe he's sort of controlled opposition. But there's a lot of people out there that could be seen as controlled opposition. I see Jacob Rees-Mogg as controlled opposition. Look, he's a pure establishment boy. He's only been there, he's now there as a sort of appeasement to Brexit, appeasement to Theresa's mess of Brexit. However, he's a Conservative and he will toe the Conservative Party line no matter what. You saw, my belief is abortion's wrong and life starts at the consummation. But the Tory Party line is that abortion's all right. So even though I have deep-set feelings, thoughts and opinions on this, they don't matter. I'm a Tory. So I've got deep-set feelings upon immigration and deep-set feelings on taxation and deep-set feelings upon the customs union and things like that. But the Tory party have the Tory party line. And I'm a Tory I'm a Tory person, me. So I'll toe the party line. He's there as an appeaser. He's there to try to offer some alternative. You know, and you got these people like freaking Westminster and stuff like that going, "Ooh, moggy, oi, 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 yeah, Jacob Rees, mog, I'm like, are you freaking blind? Let's abolish the House of Lords, yay! Are you blind? Are you that fucking uneducated or ill-educated or wrongly educated to believe these things that you are saying, to believe that demolishing the House of Lords would be right for our democracy? Putting in such a constitutional change to our democracy, our constitutional monarchy, well, what it's supposed to be, our democracy, what it's supposed to be, it's actually going to do anything. It's actually going to help us. I talked about this, I think, on yesterday's episode, where all that needs to happen is that the House of Lords needs to be the fucking House of Lords. What it's designed to do, what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to freaking protect the Constitution and not allow any laws that go against or violate our Constitution. That simple. But no. It's been corrupted on purpose to make the ignorant public want to get it abolished. Because guess what? The House of Lords, yes, it might be neutered. Yes, it's not going to be able to do very much. It doesn't hold much power whatsoever. However, it does have the ability to sort of stand up against the House of Commons. Get rid of the House of Lords, the House of Commons will go back to a Cromwellian fucking dictatorship, where it is just the House of Commons by itself, no monarchy overruling it, no House of Lords questioning it. We just got the Commons of elected people being able to pass whatever laws they want, unscrutinised. We can have that, which is great. Yeah, great for democracy, that. Or we could have the American-style republic and an elected Senate, which is another house that will be ruled by party politics. Because guess what? Yeah, it will be exactly the same as the House of Commons. The people inside the thing will be lobbied and whipped into submission. That is it. So, yeah, like I was saying, even the common day working class heroes like Tommy Robinson, we even have to question him now, question his background, question his motives, question his logic, question his reasoning. Because I was discussing with Alice after the show last night that, yeah, all he's doing is highlighting the problems of Islam. All he's doing is polarizing us against Islam, is sort of dehumanizing Muslims. Yeah, he's starting to question free speech now. Yes, he started to stick his fingers up at the media and how they portray him. But he's got the one message: Islam is bad. Islam is wrong. Islam is the problem in this country. He doesn't go pointing the finger at Tony Blair for letting a freaking million of little buggers in, or Gordon Brown for letting a million of little buggers in, and actively inviting them over, actively sending people over to Pakistan and Bangladesh to go round them up and bring them back over. Here, come on over. You can have a free job, a free house. You see this mud hut that you're living in now? Here's a 2-up, 2-down terraced house that you can live in for free. Come on over. He's not questioning the establishment. Why? Why is he not questioning the establishment? Why is he not he's got to be down the rabbit hole. He has to be. No one in his position with his amount of research and his capability isn't going to know about Luciferianism. He's not. He's got to know of it somewhere. He's got to know of the deep state. Why isn't he highlighting this? Why isn't he pointing a finger at the government that has orchestrated this problem on purpose? You know, he's focusing on the problem. Yes, it is a problem, but what you need to see is who's responsible for this problem. And until we get rid of the people who are responsible for the problem and bring them to justice, we can't deal with the problem. Totally agree, Lauren. We do. You know, there's a certain chain of events that's going to have to happen. Certain chain of events. And the sooner we get our ducks in a row, get the dominoes lined up, the sooner we can knock one over and watch the rest follow. It's just I'm not in a position to sort of start putting those dominoes in order. You know? And, well, yeah, so I did say I'd discuss sort of timelines on this show as well, I think, yesterday. So, let's go forth with a timeline. So, let's go forth. Let's fast forward to the 23rd of June. Big day. Big day. Everybody needs to get out. Everybody needs to get partying. Everybody needs to at least get to the pub and have a drink and have a chat and talk about it. Because it's key. Getting people on the street, getting people in London streets, yes, needed. Getting people in big major cities, yes, needed. But if you can't get to a major city, at least get to the pub with your Facebook ready, you know. Oh, look what everybody else is doing. Yeah, they're doing this for this reason. Great stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Brexit talk. Promote Brexit to the people. Really start pushing it. It's good comment there. But yeah, like I was saying, timeline. So we'll fast forward to the 23rd of June. If we get enough people to sign that letter that Sean Morris is promoting, or even write one yourself, it's not very difficult. It's just literally saying that I, of the Wolf family, I, David, of the Wolf family, take away my consent to be ruled by this government. If enough people sign that letter, get that letter out there, get it done. Even write your own in oldie English if you can. That's a great way to do it. But if 1 million of those letters turn up, if there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15, 20 million people on the streets saying we want Brexit now, do it now. We demand it to be done now. Or, yeah, people get off the toilet. What's going to happen? Yeah, what's going to happen? Well, we could do what happens with most rallies and political marches, is we go to the streets, have a song and dance, have a bit of a shout, go to the pub, have a pint or two, go home and forget about it. It's happened every time. We've got an ultimatum in the pipeline, in the offices at the moment. The letter that's been handed in, so calling for Theresa May's resignation if she doesn't get us proper Brexit when we demand it. So yeah, there's a little nugget of an ultimatum there. But unless we charge in head first on the 23rd of June and make demands of our government, give them the full ultimatum of, if you don't do as we say, we will do something about it. We will get rid of you. Goodbye. And then not get fobbed off with some appeasing garbage. Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to try and fob us off with, oh, well, yeah, we're going to give you full Brexit after the transition period in 2025. Yeah, yeah. We were really going to get fobbed off with that? No. No, 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 no. No. We have to demand it, make sure it is in contractual law or something that we leave the European Union. And if they don't, then we go batsh crazy. Simple as. So we've done that. We've started to try to wrestle power back away from the establishment, from the deep state, from the government. Are we going to be easily led, and Theresa May will resign and Jacob Rees-Mogg will take up Prime Minister, or fucking Sajid Jabba fucking pajama man gets to be Prime Minister? No, I can see a lot of people falling for this trick, falling for the Jacob Rees-Mogg trick. Really just going, yay, he's a Brexiteer. Yay, we've won. No, we haven't. The establishment's still in full control, still in full swing, and still not going to give us Brexit. It will give us Brino. It won't be Brexit. It'll be appeasement. It will be cloak and dagger. We've left Europe, but they still control the borders, they still control the customs, they still control this and that and the other, and we can't have a proper trade agreement with them. We can't impose tariffs upon German cars, to rebuild our own car industry. We can't do that. We can't put a tariff on German steel because we want to make our own steel. We can't do that. That's the sort of Brexit they're going to be looking for. And it's the sort of Brexit we can't have. The sort of Brexit we need to fight. We need to fight for a full-on independent Brexit, complete and utter independence. So, let's say they didn't do as we asked, and we did stay on the streets, and we did force. I don't know how we'd do it, because we can't exactly. The Queen won't work on our behalf. She won't. She's part of the freaking establishment. She's the establishment queen. So she's not going to dissolve Parliament. She won't. She will not act on our behalf. So, treasonous. But will the people see it like this? How many idiots out there celebrating the spawn of Luciferians, the Luciferians spawning some more? How many people out there are going to be cheering and waving at the freaking royal wedding instead of throwing shit at them? Yeah, that'll be a good one. Have some of that. Yeah. How many idiots are going to be there cheering them on, thinking that it's being patriotic? I'm being patriotic. I'm supporting the royal family that's not patriotic at all. Yeah. So, the only logical way forward, in my eyes and in my heart, is regicide. Deposing, the abdication, the removal of the royal family. They're not the Windsors, are they? They have no right to rule this country, have they? They've just got a very good freaking PR arm. Yeah, they're Luciferians. They practice Luciferian freaking rituals. And until we get rid of them, we can't dissolve Parliament. I don't think the sovereign people of the nation can dissolve Parliament. I think it would have to be the sovereign monarch. Well, she's not sovereign anymore. She's nothing. She's worthless. She's a freaking cackling old witch that eats babies. And yeah. So first things first. First step first. Got to get rid of them. Then we dissolve Parliament, and then we have the rightful heir, or rightful king, or rightful monarch, or even just your everyday British patriot person. Because freaking Joe Bloggs from down the street would be better than this queen. And until we've got the right sort of people in the right power and the right freaking and then reinstate the Constitution. Reinstate the Constitution in full, bish, bash, bosh. Every law in this land has to be common law. Every law in this land has to prescribe to the Constitution. Every law in this land is under one law. Nobody above it. And then we'll have such a dark future. Such a dark future we have, because I don't see any way around war. I don't see any way around a civil war. I don't. Because as soon as we start along this path, the more we read the more we make Britain great again, the more we make Britain what it was, what it is, and what it should be, the more terrorists are going to come out of the woodwork. You know, it's something as simple as animal rights and banning halal food. Or at least banning the halal slaughter in this country. How many terrorist attacks do you think that's going to? How many terrorist attacks do you think that's going to produce? The closing of radical mosques. How many terrorist attacks do you think that's going to produce? How many more terrorist attacks do you think the British people are going to take before we say enough's enough? You know, how many times have we said, have our government said, enough is enough, and done nothing? Countless times. After every incident, enough is enough, but we're not doing anything to stop it. We're not doing anything to challenge the beliefs. We're not doing anything to challenge them whatsoever. We're just going to hope it goes away by appeasing them more, by giving them more rights and giving them more control and denying to them so much more. Yeah, that's it. I agree, Lauren. It is the PR, the media representation of the royals, of the Queen, of these evil Luciferian scumbags is unreal. It's to such a point where you even question something about the royals. You know, you even say, well, fuck's it. Yeah, which one is it? Harry? Is it Harry? Little ginger one? He's an illegitimate child. You see, you say that, and people go up in arms at you. You know, going mental about. Frick's sake, do a genes test. Get him on freaking Jeremy Carlin. Let's see who his real dad is. Come on. Yeah, you mentioned that, and people go mad. People go wild. You say that the Queen's an evil Luciferian scumbag and head of the Freemasons and bows to the light of Lucifer and is an EU citizen now, not a British citizen. She doesn't give a flying about us, and she'd rather see us all dead, poor, or in serfdom. Say that. I can back this up with truth and fact. But say that to someone and they... No. They're either just going to go, la, 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 I can't hear you, or they're going to get violent and get really uppity and start really getting, cognitive dissonance and the protection of their small mind. Because it takes a lot to open your mind to reality. Realize. And it takes a lot to have those realize. It takes a lot to see through the veneer. It takes a lot to go down the rabbit hole and see the world for what it really is. Because as soon as you see that, my God, it can eat at your soul. It can eat at your very essence of being a being. Once you see what these people are up to, what you see what they've done, what you see what they promote, what you see their plans and how they put them into place, when you see that pretty much every war has been planned, thought through, and executed. Once you start to see that, it turns the whole world upside down. And some people, like you said, can't handle it. Can't handle the truth. They can't handle blatant fact when it's put in front of their face. They'd rather bury their heads in the sand, scream Nazi and racist, or try to whack you with a stick. Because but I've said this on a previous episode. The Constitution is the solution. Truly is. That's why it's been subverted so much. That's why it's been taken out of the education system. That's why it's been demolished and destroyed at every opportunity. It's because it is the solution. It gives us the right recourse to change power, change government, change the establishment. These these methods and processes have been put in place a long time ago to make sure we don't fall into tyranny. We don't want a tyrannical government, yet we have one. Yet we have a tyrannical government. It might be dressed up in a fancy dress of democracy, but it's tyranny. It is true tyranny. And it's the one thing that can unite all British people. Doesn't matter what cult you follow. Doesn't matter. Well, it does actually, because your laws aren't allowed in this land. You can juff off. But it doesn't matter whether you vote Labour or vote Tory or vote frigging Liberal Democrat. Doesn't matter. The Constitution is the English Constitution. It's what's built our nation. It's what's made us great. It's the freaking Constitution we spread around the world. Start whacking the politicians with them like freaking bad cats. Pop them on the nose. Bad kitty. Anyways. But uniting the dissident factions, uniting the people from this side and the people from that side and the people that think this and the people that think that. We don't get back control. If we don't depose government, we're not going to get any of it. First things first is get rid of government, get rid of the establishment, and then we can start to think about the improvements we want to make. Then, once we've got a proper government and a proper establishment that is there to protect and do the will of the British people, then we can start moving things forward very quickly, very well. But we all have to unite to actually depose government. If we're all still fighting amongst each other, which at the start of the show, that's what I was emphasizing, we all still fight amongst each other, not a cat and hell's chance. It's part of social cohesion nowadays as well. What's really struggling people to talk to each other. You know, even your working men's club in your pub, politics is still sort of a taboo issue. It's still sort of a touch, the touch paper issue that could blow up. It's still a very underrated, under-talked about, understood issue is politics. Apathy has spread like a wildfire, widespread disease of apathy. The politicians don't do anything for us, so I'm not going to vote for them. Well, guess what? Even if you don't vote for them, what they vote in freaking House of Parliament affects you. Day in, day out. So, not voting isn't a smart thing to do. Isn't smart. Oh, well, all the votes are rigged. Well, I'm starting to believe that too. But it's not going to stop me from getting out there and voting. I've got my little votey card thing. Well, I can't find it thing. But I'm going to go out and I think I'm going to vote tomorrow or something. Probably. I think it's tomorrow. Way! Go and vote for my local councillor. Oh, where are they? Yeah. The local council elections in my area. I've even got the Muslim Conservatives on one hand, or they're actually native Brits by the looks of things on the Labour side. But no, never vote Labour. Never, ever, ever, never. Never vote Conservative. Never, ever, never. So I don't know who I'm going to be able to pick. I don't know if there's going to be a third choice. Is it going to be a slap on the left cheek or a slap on the right? But we all know, in my area, there's a block vote. They'll all vote in the same way. They all vote the way that they're told to vote, and they will all vote in the way they're told to vote. The thing is, with Gerard Batten leading UKIP now, with Amory Waters leading another party that's anti-Islam, Batten's anti-Islam, DVP have come out against Islam as well. If I was to actually have, if anyone was to stand in this area with with one of those political parties, you might as well put a big target on your chest saying, "Come and kill me." Might as well come and attack me. Try canvassing for UKIP around these fucking streets, mate. You will not survive it. It is that bad. It is that bad, and all goes on around here. I've been battered 4 times for being white and walking through a Muslim area. Try knocking on doors and being politically active, especially with one of the alternative parties. No. Yeah. But that's what's become of our political system. We've let in these freaking reprobates. We've let in this freaking political ideology that is not compatible with ours, that is doing everything it possibly can to gain power in this country, to subvert our constitution, to destroy our freaking culture and our nation. That's what they want. And they are freaking scared to say it. What are we scared to go out and say Islam is evil, we want to get rid of it, I want to kick it out of this country, I want it gone. No more Qurans in this country, no more mosques in this country, and every mosque we've got will either burn down or turn into a nightclub. Because I'm pretty sure that them on the streets demanding Sharia, them on the streets, with the Quran in one hand and saying, we want Sharia law, come and see how good Sharia is, we're promoting Islam. That's actually cursing our culture, cursing our democracy. That is not... Oh. Yeah, that is like them saying they want to kick us out of this country. It is. It's like them saying we want a white genocide in this country. That's what it is. Them demanding Sharia is them demanding our death. For crying out loud, the prayer they have to say 5 times a day. I think the very last line of it, but I'm pretty sure one of the major, more important lines of it is, and Allah will surely punish those who do not believe. And they're allowed to get away with it. I can't say, and let God punish those who do not believe in God, because that's not part of religion, a part of a proper fucking religion, is it? Mr. Tour, you little bugger. It's almost as bad as Ivan. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Laura. Nothing can be done until we get rid of this government. Until we get... It's not just the government. It's the entire establishment and the deep state. How many top brass civil service are there that are doing this, that are Luciferians? How many? How many top great bankers are exactly the same? How many of these establishment have got to be gone? Got to be gone. Gone. Out you go. Try living like a poor person. There you go. Let's see you get a job at McDonald's, mate. Because that's the only job. It's only job you can have now is working at... Well, no, because we don't even want McDonald's in the new world, in the brave new world. Yeah. Go do the dirty laundry at a prison, mate. That's your job. That's your job, Mrs. Prime Minister, Mrs. Ex-Prime Minister. Go and wash the dirty laundry at the prisons. That's it. That is it, Mr. Tor. There's violent oppression, which they've been doing in towns and cities up and down the country. There's cultural suppression, which they're doing in towns and cities all over the country and all over the world. And then there's the freaking stupid lefties that are on their side. They've never even read the freaking Quran or the Hadiths, and they don't know all about Islam, what it means, and what the true plans actually are, and they're defending it. And it seems that the first defense is to attack Christianity. Oh, well, it said this in the Bible. Oh, it said gays should be stoned in the Bible. Oh, yeah, don't get me started down the Islam road. It pisses me off. It does. And you're right, it would be nice to be able to walk around, say what I want, when I want, for why I want, walk into a shop without feeling any sort of form of fear that if I was wearing a freaking yarmulke or if I had the curly Jew hair, I wouldn't be battered. If I did that now, yeah, I'd love to do it, but I want to stay alive. I'm not that suicidal yet, but again, I will say it again, that it is the deep state, the establishment, and the corrupt politicians and the corrupt puppet masters of these politicians that have unleashed the torrent of Islam in this country, that are rubbing it in our faces and freaking appeasing it at every freaking turn, selling out our ports to freaking Islam, because that's what it might as well be. Selling out our ports to Islam, selling out our government buildings to Islam, selling out our public services to Islam. They'll probably sell the NHS to Islam if they got a freaking Sharia bond for it. Crying out loud. It's them. Yes, the Muslims are a tool, are a weapon, and they're being used in that way. Doesn't deny the fact that they're still a weapon. Doesn't deny the fact that they're still a tool. Doesn't deny the fact that their ideology is absolutely abhorrent, disgusting, and has no place in this country. But you can't blame the tool as much as you can blame the workman, the person that was been using this tool, the person that picked up the tool, went to the shop, bought the tool, got the tool, brought it here and put it here and started using it against us. We can't deny the fact that they are responsible and they need to be held accountable. So, in the brave new world that we're looking at getting, when we do take down our government, when we do start to get back control of our own fucking law, we can start to put these things in place. We can start to get the mass trial, the indictments, as the Trump is using, and start to punish these people. Find out their truth. Find out their lies. Polygraph the buggers. And punish them. Punish them severely. To stop anyone from thinking they can do it again. They punish that Darren Osborne for running over the Muslims with 40 years to try to stop anyone from doing it again. To try to what is it? Set the example. Well, same needs to go to them. They need to be made an example of. And it needs to be a global sort of thing. And we don't have time, people. Time is not on our side. Yeah, Mr. Tour. It seems to be written in stone. The Georgia Guidestones, or at least Albert Pike's frigging predictions. There is a war coming. It's been set up. It's being put into place by the people moving the chess pieces on the board. It is inevitable. It's inevitable. It is. It truly is an utter inevitability. I can't see any other way around it. Islam isn't going to reform. Is it? It isn't. It can't. It will not reform. And it states, kill the non-believer. Not only does it say that, it says, go out, invade their lands, breed, force Islam upon others until you get sort of into the positions of power, until you've got the right sort of population figures, and then subvert their government, and then take control, then impose Sharia. That is the Muslim plan. It is the Muslim plan. It doesn't have to be the Muslim Brotherhood's plan or any sort of Shia Muslims plan or Shiite Muslims plan. It is the Muslim plan, the plan of Muhammad. That was his plan. That was it. And now they're just executing it. They tried it time and time and time again in the past. How do you think most of Spain was conquered? Do you think it was conquered by hordes of people jumping off boats and raiding villages and cities and things? Sacking cities? No, wasn't. It was started that way, but then they stayed. And then they bred. And then they bred. And then they multiplied. and then more of them, and more of them, and more of them. More places, more mosques, more brainwashed converts, more brainwashed people, more violence, more pressure, and more conquering. The one simple goal of Islam is to conquer. And to answer that question, they'll hide in their bunkers. The elites are going to hide in their bunkers. They've already got them pre-planned, premeditated, built. Bunkers, stocked full of food, and all they'll need to do is ship down a few children to sacrifice whilst they wait it out. They'll sit down in the bunkers with a cup of tea, watching it all on CCTV cameras, watching us all kill each other. So what's going to happen? They'll be in their little bunkers, telling us what to do, whilst we go shed our blood to protect what? Civilization? Yeah. So then, once the nuclear weapons have been used, because we all know Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and a few other countries in the Middle East, India, and a few other countries in the Middle East have nuclear weapons. So, as soon as one gets launched, all of them get launched. They're in the bunkers, happy. Wait till the radiation calms down. Out they pop. They're all over the mutant ashes. That's how the elites are going to fare when they cause World War III. You know, there's two different options to the World War III. We've got the two different options. The World War III against Russia and China, where we magically join with Islam, which I think that's the one they're pushing for the most at the moment, especially through the mainstream media and their actions in the Middle East. And Trump's buddying up with frigging Saudi Arabia's crown prince, Abdul bin Salman. It seems like that's the sort of avenue they want to go down. So, are they going to go for that one? See if they can. Well, because they've let all the Muslims run riot and run rampant all over Europe now. They're letting Muslims run around in America do what they freaking want. You know, so they've got that. And, you know, they make quite handy cannon fodder. But will the Muslims fight? Yeah, they might go back to the Middle East and fight Russia in the Middle East. Maybe fight China in the Middle East over the land war there. But they're not going to fight for Britain. They're not going to fight for France or Germany. They're not going to fight for them. They will only fight for Islam. That's what. Yeah. What's the best way to get into heaven? Jihad. So fighting for Britain is not jihad. You ain't going to get into heaven that way. Unless, guess what? If Britain was to submit to Islam and have an Islamic ruler, or at least demitude, which we're already in at the minute, to be honest with you, that means that they can fight sort of for us, because it's not for Britain, it's for the Islamic State of Britain. Yeah. So they've got that one. That's one world war that they want to start to throw in place. And then you've got the Albert Pike version, which is we are currently in the middle of the Third World War of terrorism, the war against terrorism. Now, I've gone over this a couple of times, and it's not the war on terrorism, it's the war on our freedom. Because how do you take away people's rights? Introduce the wrongs. Introduce the wrongs. Oh, we've got to take away your rights to nullify the wrongs. I've said this before, I mentioned it before on a previous show. But is the connotations in that statement, because Albert Pike knew that Islam prescribes terrorism. Fucking hell, it encourages it. Fucking hell, it says it's part of fucking jihad and part of the holy war is terrorism. You've got to terrorize your enemies. That's what it's all about. So you've got that. And then he knew that. He knew that saying a war against terrorism is practically saying a war against Islam. And then you've got the Quran scriptures that says, the hadith that says that the world will not know peace until the Jews fight the Muslims, and then the rocks and the trees say there's a Jew behind me, come and kill him. That particularly nice hadith, that one. So yeah, so you've got that one as well. So but with that one, you've got, they've let them infiltrate our lands. They've let them sack the cities. Or, yeah, they've let them into the cities before they then sack them. Trojan horse style. Which I see as, yeah, if it's the Jewish bankers that are putting this into place, or the Rothschilds, yeah, the Jewish bankers, that are putting this into place, which they have done with the previous two, and the Freemasonry and all that sort of chat, the Luciferians, they put all this in place. You see, not only do they want to profit heavily or highly from the selling of guns and bombs and ammunition to both sides, these guns and bombs and things that they've sold to both sides are then used to destroy all the houses, destroy all the infrastructure, destroy. And then guess what? Once the war is over, the government has to come in and has to rebuild all of this. Now, where's it going to get the money from to rebuild all of the infrastructure? The mega banks, the Jewish bankers, the Rothschilds. So they get super uber profits, and then they can have their one world bullshit. Yeah, they can have the one world. So, yeah. And they've done it like this, so we don't know whether we're looking left or looking right. We don't know whether we're going to go to war with Russia or whether we're going to go to war with Islam. We don't know. So we can't prepare for it as much. The military, they're destroying our military, so we can't really put up a freaking fight against it. You know, what would happen if the call to jihad was put out all over Europe, all over Africa, all over North Africa, all over the Middle East? If Erdogan, Turkish Prime Minister, got what he wanted, if he got what he wanted, and all the Muslim countries united and all destroyed Israel. Yeah, Israel's a blemish. Israel's a bit of a shitter. It's a bastard. It's a deep state, a serious deep state. But once they've done killed all the Jews in Israel, what do you think they're going to turn their attention to? India? No. Europe. Yes. They'll take all of their minions from the Middle East, march them through Turkey, and invade Europe. Completely. They've already got many, many fighting men here, ready and waiting. It's there, it's ready and waiting. They're ready and waiting to go to war. They're waiting for the call. I know this for a fact. They are waiting for the call to jihad. And there's the two sides of the coin. There's the jihad of the womb, where I think it was General Gaddafi himself said, we won't have to fire a bullet to take over Europe. We will take over just by outbreeding them, by invading and outbreeding them. And they're going to pay for it all. Or then you've got the we stand up against them jihad. We say, no, you can't breed like rats. No, you can't keep claiming benefits. No, you've got to go and get a job. No, you can't have halal slaughter. No, you can't build any more mosques. No. Then they'll rise up and then they'll start blowing shit up. And that's the jihad that they're preparing for as well. But hey, we have to be prepared for these things, people. And well, we just hit 2 hours now. I think I've had enough. I think you've all had enough. Nice. Thank you for the comments. Some great comments on here. Some great comments. I'd like to address. Yeah, Lauren, maybe you can come on the show. We'll have a little chat because I've seen some of your comments and they're quite well rounded. Right. So, thank you very much, everybody. Enjoyed the show. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully, we'll get some guests on and maybe an actual topic to talk about. But farewell.